All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new campaign with Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. On Legendary difficulty, I'm Bobtheorc, and today we are going to attempt the Empire of Spain because no one expects the Spanish Inquisition. And we have a really crazy plan for tonight. Uh, so here we go. Let's see where we start out at. So, we have Spain. Spain has not a lot of money. It's got Spain, it's got a little bit of Africa, it's got Cuba and some stuff here in the Caribbean, and then it's got the Philippines. We are spread out all over the place, and we have very little money. And because this is legendary difficulty, the other countries are going to expand much quicker than we are. So we have a big damn problem. So how are we going to do this? Well, I've got a crazy plan that I've been thinking about all week long. I've got a fresh cup of tea. And I've got a bunch of Monty Python memes. So, alright, so here's what we're going to do. First off, we need bigger shipyard because, obviously. Boop. And we are going to design a ship. But first, here's the overview. We are going to try and be nice to everybody at first. If you look at our politics, everybody's kind of neutral except for the U.S. who's pissed. So we're going to attempt to improve relations. And this gambit, this plan, relies on us being able to be nice to the U.S. long enough for us to get a big stick. Was it one of the Roosevelts who said diplomacy, the art of diplomacy is saying nice doggy while you grab a big stick? So this is 1890. We're pretty weak. And hopefully the U.S. won't raffle stomp us before we have a chance to do anything. So here's the plan. I am going to build a secret fleet of invasion ships in Cuba. Our first goal is to knock out the United States before they can become the economic juggernaut. Plus we have to avenge New Jersey for all of the U.S. destroyers sinking his super battleship during the last campaign. But how do we build enough ships to invade the U.S. at the beginning? Because ships are expensive. Well, here's what I think we're going to do. Actually, real quick, we're going to focus with our research. We want to focus on big guns, small guns, and rangefinder. So our initial plan is we want to get the Mark II 9-inch gun as quick as possible. We want to get the Mark II 2-inch or maybe even 3-inch gun as quick as possible. 4-inch would be nice too. We want to get a Mark II gun that's big and small, and we want to get the Mark I rangefinder, some sort of rangefinder, as fast as possible. So our first ship is going to be, we're essentially going to have three kinds of ships. We're going to have our invasion ships, which is going to be the Inquisition type ships, and nobody's going to expect them. We're going to have our kind of overall defensive escort ships that will need to be pretty good, also short-range ships. And we'll have to have some long-range pirate-type ships to go out and gank the other people. Now, I want as many invasion ships as possible that are as big as possible. So what we're going to do is we're going to make these initial ships as cheap as humanly possible. We can make them up to 8,500 tons. They're going slow, minimal bulkheads, going minimal armor. We're just going to make these as minimal and cheap as possible. We want to make these things very minimal. Now, I need to have a gun. I need to have a main tower. So we're going to have a cheap main tower. Has to be somewhere up here. I need to have a secondary tower, which we'll put, doesn't really matter. I need to have a funnel, which we'll put as far back as we can. And I need to have a main gun. And go with a 9-inch single-barreled gun in the back, okay? This makes the ship as cheap as possible. I was hoping to have a little bit less than that. Is there anything? Oh, that's right. So we're going to go light ammo, reduced ammunition, I don't think we have any options here. We have, we're going to have no armor on the gun turrets. And we've got our cost per ship down to under $3.2 million. This is a cheap as fuck ship. Okay? And we are going to call it the Soft Cushion, because Spanish Inquisition, okay? This ship is cheap as hell. Now, as the U.S. Navy would call it, so the U.S. Navy, after World War I, in order to get around the Washington Naval Treaty, they made a bunch of battleships that had what they called reserve buoyancy. Reserve buoyancy is where you leave most of the ship empty, or extra ship empty. So this ship can be up to 8,500 tons, and when we make it bigger later on by expanding the draught and beam, we can make this thing like over 10,000 tons. But right now, we only have 2,800 tons of stuff in it. We have a lot of reserve buoyancy, and this makes the ship cheap and small, and nobody is going to expect it. And we'll retrofit it later. So we're going to save the design. And now, we're going to see how many of these things we can build, because they are cheap. Did I mention they're cheap? Now, this only works if nobody attacks us until we can build warships, because these are basically battle barges. All they have to do is transport lots of troops. How many of these can I make? All right, so I can make 45 of them. That's right, I'm making 45 cheap battle barges to transport troops. And this is going to be 382,000 tons, which I would never in a million years be able to build. There's a lot of starting transport capacity to instantly launch an invasion against whoever I want, and they will never see it coming. So we're going to build 45 soft cushions. And much like the tank in World War I, the tank was viewed as a water tank, so nobody would expect that it was going to be an armored fighting vehicle. We are calling this the soft cushion because nobody is going to expect it. So, boom. We just spent our whole naval budget on building a completely worthless ship. Look at all of these freaking ships. Now, let's go check our map real quick. The game's loading really fast right now while we don't have a lot of stuff. Now, we are going to put all of these guys probably in Santiago de Cuba, okay? Because our first goal when we inevitably go to war with the U.S. is we want to invade Panama. We need at least 100,000 tons of ships to invade, to launch a naval invasion. We have a lot more than that. So, yeah, we're going to put them in Santiago de Cuba. And then we are going to mothball them, because this is still a lot of stuff to maintain. So let's, where are we at? Santiago de Cuba. Boom. Check this out. So now we have all these ships sitting here, or they will be in a minute, right? Now our finances, well, alright, so we need to max out our transport capacity, and we are going to just have nothing on anything else, okay? We need to get transport capacity as fast as possible. We're going to lose a little bit of money, but it's not the end of the world. And hopefully, well, we'll just see how this goes. This may turn out to be a giant disaster. So, boom. Here we go. So now we have all these ships. If we check our finances, we've got some money coming in. So that's not bad. Okay. But we're going to need a little bit more than this. Yeah, I know. This is pretty crazy, huh? So, I don't want the U.S. to get mad that I have all these ships, and we've got how many crew do we have? I have. So here's the thing: we have the ships fully staffed with crew because they are just sitting there. Now we could either mothball them or we could put them into limited being. I may put them into limited because these guys have. Each of these guys has 222 crew, so we just got what's 45 45 times 200 is what, 9,000? We just got like a free 9,000 crew and change, about 10,000 crew just poof for free. Now my concern is if I mothball these, maybe it'll cause some problems. So right now these things are costing me $37,000 a month, 38,000 a month, which isn't actually that bad. I could mothball them, but I think if I put them into limited, we'll auto add crew. If we go limited, now they're only costing me 18,000 per month. I mean, it's still a lot of money, right? But it's not that much. Now I could mothball them, and then it'll take some time to unmothball them. So I don't. Now if I mothball, removes the crew from the ships. It helps and use the crew for other ships. So this could potentially give me the crew on other ships. You know, I'm not really certain yet how we're gonna do that. I will need other ships to build, but right now we need as much tech budget as we can. And the crew training I'm not going to worry about. Training of the crew. Yeah, so we don't need the crew budget yet. We're okay for right now. I'll give them maybe. Oh, this is going to be. Yeah, this is going to be very expensive very quickly. So we're not going to train the crew right now. I'm really torn whether I want to mothball or not. It's going to take me 2 years to build all this up. And I will. So my current ship expenses. Now, right now, fleet maintenance is only. It's not even $1 million a turn. So honestly, I think I'm going to leave them in limited state because these ships basically don't cost me very much. So we've got that. We've got our research priorities for the big guns, the small guns, and the rangefinders, which we need right off the bat. And hopefully our politics works well with the United States. Otherwise, we are screwed. And here we go. So let's see how this works out. Yeah, these are just these ships don't expect to fight. Now later I will make them into, you know, some semblance of a fighting ship, but right now we are, before we do anything, we're not. All right, so we are mending relations with the United States, so that's good, okay? Now let's look at this strategically. The other country we need to not piss off right now is France, because we don't want them to land invasion me. So we are going to be playing the diplomacy game and alternating between making France and the U.S. happy with me. If we check out our finances, we have more money, so we can start, you know, creeping this up a little bit. But it's going to take a little bit of time while we get our transport capacity up and while we build our ports, make those bigger. As far as our research, that's coming along. So we're just going to take it one step at a time, and we're going to be really, really cautious because this is the gambit. The gambit is we're taking a big risk right now for a big payout later on. And France isn't too happy with us. Now we have a lot of unrest, so that's a potential problem. And then we're going to go make nice with the US again. Hopefully that works. We have a little bit more money, so we're going to keep on creeping our tech spending up. Our transport capacity is coming up, so all this is going very nicely. And we're just going to keep on, just don't mind us. We are a very small, friendly country. We love everyone. And don't mind us. There we go. The US is happy. They like us. Good. Good, good, good. And we'll be nice to France some more. Check out our finances. We'll creep up our tech budget a little bit more. We're getting there, 118. So this is going to be the first few turns. We're just playing it super, super chill. Everybody be nice to nice little Spain that has no ships, and we're super peaceful. We're not planning on colonizing anybody. We don't care what the other countries are doing. That's not our problem. France likes us. That's good. We don't care what Palestine's doing. We are just being nice to everybody. Improve relations with the US. Just a nice little harmless Spain. Almost there to 100%. We're at 124 on our we're growing. We're just nice and peaceful. We're not planning to take over the world. Those are all rumors. We don't have a Spanish Inquisition. We do have a little bit of unrest. We have to go deal with that at some point. Oh, that didn't work out. But that's okay. Can't win every one. There we go. So we have a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Keep making nice with France. Alright. Research is coming along. Hopefully we'll get the guns that we need. No, we're not doing any rat-a-tat-a-tat-a battleships. Those aren't battleships. Those are commerce vessels. They are lightly armed commerce vehicles. They are there for trade. We will use them for diplomacy and for the transportation of goods. They only look like battleships. They're really not battleships. Let's try and improve relations some more. Alright, so we're at 100% there. Can I start creeping up the crew training a little bit? Let's get maybe just a little bit, 1%. It's not great, but okay. Just so we have a little bit of a positive number. We don't really need a big positive number. We just need a little bit of a positive number. So, we are a very peaceful Spain. We would never ever build an offensive navy. We might build some coastal defense ships to protect against pirates. Because you got to watch out for those pirates. Haiti is close by, and we don't want them to eat our cats. But we are very peaceful. And let's see, who else do we need to be peaceful with? We're going to be a little bit peaceful with. We'll be a little bit peaceful with the British. Here we go. We're peaceful with everybody. We are a very peaceful country. We're working on the Mark II 2-inch guns, because those are going to be very important for shooting pirates in their torpedo boats later. And I don't really need a lot of crew training right now. We're just being nice and peaceful and saving some money. And I don't want to get into the naval funds yet, because it's very easy to bankrupt ourselves right now. So we're just being super, super peaceful. No, we are not planning on building any warships at all. We are only building peace ships. We have some gun cotton. Alright, well, we gotta keep making a little bit nice with the US. So I want to at least get them to kind of neutral. I don't think they're going to attack me right now. They probably don't see me as a threat. They've got 4 battleships, 8 heavy cruisers, 11 lights, and 19 torpedo boats. You know, not great, but not the end of the world. So we're just going to quietly save up some money. You know, we'll have our small guns ready in a little bit. So that'll be awfully nice. Yep, we are totally peaceful. We are a very peaceful Spain that nobody would ever want to go to war with at all. Let's be nice to France this turn. Hello, France. We love your music. There we go. We like your... We like that you're our neighbor, that you're our very peaceful neighbor that would never invade us. 149%, so we're getting there. We're getting our transports built. And so this is all coming along, right? So we are a very, very peaceful Spain that would never oppress anybody. We would never forcibly religiously convert indigenous people. We are a very peaceful country. You're thinking of those other guys who said they were Spain from like the and 1600s and whatnot. We are a different Spain. We are the peaceful Spain that everyone loves. Although we're having some trouble with diplomacy because maybe people don't believe us, but that's okay. I will eventually need more crew. But I really can't. We're just going to have just a very small positive. There we go. That's good enough. The research is going nicely. Very peaceful Spain. Yeah, we are a very peaceful country that is not building a secret invasion fleet. Those are purely for commercial and export purposes. All right, so we have our Mark II 2-inch guns. So we're good here. We don't need these anymore. I'd like to get the Mark II 3 inches, but they're not essential for the very beginning. Let's see, anything... You know, we'll focus on... We're going to focus on some other... All right, which gun are you... There we go, the Mark II 9-inch guns. Those are what we need. And... What do we have for hull construction? New riveting, yeah. So these are all kind of nice things. Boiler. I mean, I will need better boilers at some point, but right now we're good. Let's see here, our politics. Let's make the U.S. happier with us right now. We'll piss them off later. There we go. So, just nice. Yeah, we are not building warships, we are building soft cushions. These are just soft cushions. Alright, so that's coming along nicely. Range for 11 turns until we have the coincidence rangefinder 1, which is going to be very important to us. And we want to continue making nice with France. 161%, 48%. We're doing very good so far. Nobody's attacked us, and we're just being nice and peaceful. We are not expansionistic at all. We promise not to take over the world. We are just nice, peaceful Spain. We have a wonderful reputation in the world. You all love us. You know you do. And Let's at least get you guys to neutral. Once they're kind of 0, they'll be good enough, I think. So that's looking good. The research is looking 1 more month till we get our big guns. And 1 more month on the hull stuff. So this is going really, really nicely, right? Yeah, we're just very peaceful and chill, and we're not a threat to anyone. We got our Mark II 9-inch guns. There we go. So we can unclick that now. We don't need those anymore. Now we just need to get these rangefinders. We got our hull strengthening. We have our nickel steel armor that we've already developed, so that's really good. Our hull construction. Don't really care about a 300-ton torpedo boat. So we got 5 more turns on the rangefinder. Let's see. This would construction time and armor weight. I'm not worried about that. The hull construction, fewer ship flaws. I do like that. So we'll do a little bit of this. So everything's going very, very nicely. Now I really don't want Austria to provoke us. That's not useful. Austria's at -3, and we need to improve our relations with Britain, because these guys probably don't trust us. So let's be nice to you. We're just going to be nice to everybody. That looks good. 60% done. We're at 172%. So this is all coming along nicely. We have a little bit of a tech budget. You know, we're doing good. So just nice and chill. We're just being nice and chill. I know that the beginning of a game is always a little bit boring. And not a lot of bloodshed, but this beginning, this opening is the most important part. Alright, the British like us a little more. We are being nice and devious. We don't need the hull construction anymore. We got 4 more turns on rangefinder. The armor forging is nice, but it's not super necessary. This other stuff is nice, but it's not super necessary. What's the naval communication? Flags communication. I don't care about that. I'm not going to make a big push for radio direction finder this time. I think we're just going to... I could do the armor forging, and... yeah, we'll do that. We'll do the armor forging just to make that happen. And we're at 176. All that's looking really good. Alright, so civil unrest in China. We don't want that. I don't know anything about it. Let's get a little more budget. Now I do need to worry about my unrest. That's going to be sort of a problem early on that I have to deal with. I can't do much about it right now, but it will be a problem in the future. So, yeah, probably the U.S. Let's go improve relations with you a little bit. There you go. I mean, eventually we're gonna double cross them, obviously. I mean, no, we're not. That was a slip of the tongue. You know, ignore that person. No, we are very peaceful. There we go. See, they believe me. And 1 more month on that. Finances are good. 182, so we're getting there. We need to... who do we need to be nice to? We need to be nice to Britain some more. Yeah, Britain and France. Now, realistically, Britain and France are the 2 most dangerous people for me right now. And then Long term, the U.S. is dangerous because they'll become an economic juggernaut. I'm not worried about the other powers that much, at least not once I have a fleet. I'm more worried about my unrest. Alright, so, don't need armor forge. We'll have rangefinder soon. And I think everything else is good. I would like to have a better engine. So we'll probably start working on engines a little bit. I mean, the engines, the boilers, because we do need some speed. That's going to be the most important coming up. But everybody is kind of happy. Improve with France. Hello, France. There we go. Yeah, now we're going to have a lot of problems in the Pacific defending that. We've got this little thing down here in Africa we're going to have to deal with. So there's going to be a lot of problems coming up that we're going to have to worry about. But I think we can deal with all this. 188, that's good. So like I said, we're just nice and chill. Alright, we got our coincidence rangefinder. This is good. Now our overall priorities are going to be long-term rangefinders. We eventually want like better turret mechanisms. I want to get, for the late game, I want to get radar, or I guess for the mid game, get radar as soon as I can, because that'll be really important. For right now, this is good enough for the opening game. I wouldn't mind having 3-inch guns, because those will be kind of useful. And I want to see if I can get better engines and boilers. I have the means to build what I need right now. So here's kind of where we have to make the decision. I could try to push forward and get better engines. I have the basic steam engines. I need a ship that can defend the battle fleet. And these will probably take a while to come about. So what we're probably going to have to do is make some defensive ships to escort, you know, some purely defensive anti-piracy ships. I think that's what we're going to do. I would like a better engine before we start building a bunch of ships, but I think we're getting to that, kind of getting towards that time. As far as the number of ships that we need to make, we need probably like 10 or so. Maybe more. I would like to have better engines before I build these ships, so I'd like them to be kind of fast, but I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't know how long... The engines are slow to... You know what we can do? We can... Let's just do this. So engines are at 32%, and let's give it a turn and see how far it goes. So we could blame it on the Austrians and lower the unrest a little bit. We'll do that. Alright, so naval expenditures. That gives me money but unrest. It would be nice to have 10... It would be nice to have an extra 10 million. Or 20 million. I think lowering our unrest is more important right now. So let's lower the unrest. There we go. We're back to 25 unrest. Because we'll be able to make money. I've got some money. It's not great, but I've got some money. So we're at 30 something percent. Now at 36. So this is building the engines. If we're doing like 3-4% per turn, we're still going to be looking at 10 plus. It's going to take a while. We need ships. We need to start getting our ships together now. So that's all right. So let's go look at making a new design. And I need something that can fight, but isn't... So here we go, a semi-armored cruiser. A hybrid light cruiser. Let's see what this is. That looks like it's small. And how big can we make these things? 4,000 tons. I'm going to go draught, or do we want to go beam? I don't really need a lot of... The draught's gonna... This is already pretty stable. Let's... 6, 6.2, 6.5. There we go. Hey. There we go. So that's our 4,000 tons that we can have. We don't need a lot of range, and this thing's already pretty well balanced. Alright, so let's figure out how we can... this thing counts as an armored cruiser, so that's nice. We can have some sort of a main tower. Alright, we'll have a main tower. I would like this thing to go a little faster. I'd like it to go... Can we go 16 knots? What's the optimum speed for this hull? Optimum speed is 16.9 knots. So we can have it go 16 knots. Not that expensive. Now, as far as our main guns, we have these Mark II 9-inch guns that we built, which are awesome. Oh, can I put a 9-inch on one of these? I don't remember if I can or not. I cannot. So I have to either have it just sitting normally, in which case I can't have any other gun turrets, or I could do a barbette. Well, 26. That's not going to fit. Yeah, because this thing is way too... Alright, so we're going to go with... We're going to go some 9-inch guns. And we're going to go 2 of these. And we're going to make these 9.9s. We're going to get the biggest bang for the buck we can out of these honkin' guns. And as far as the secondary tower, the spotting on this is only 1150. We get better spotting out of the secondary tower. There we go. So we got that. And I could do another. I can't squeeze you guys in. Can I scooch you forward any? I scooched you forward. Can I scooch you forward any? No, apparently not. Oh, there we go. We can do that. So now we've got great fuel efficiency, which gun cotton, and if we go with a citadel and a barbette and anti-torpedo, and if we go with nickel steel, that lowers our weight. So there we go. This is getting there. We're getting somewhere. Let's go for an unbalanced rudder because I want to be able to turn fast. Yeah, we don't need any range. So this is getting there. We're getting. I could go for enhanced firing to make these fire a little faster, but I don't know if that's important right now. I do want extra ammo and make the ammo big. Alright, so now I could lower the engine efficiency and get rid of one of these if I have to. These weigh 200 tons. It may not be the end of the world. Now what I could do is I could put a barbette up here to have better turrets. We have our Mark II 2-inch gun, which I could put like right here, and then have a small barbette up top to fire 360 like this. And let's make these guys, so it's not gonna, it doesn't like that. Alright, so we're gonna, oh, that's interesting. It doesn't like any of that stuff. So let's go put you up here. Let's go about one of you guys like that. And then as far as these guys go, now I can... It really doesn't like having those there. Alright, so... Let's go turn you around. Alright, so we still have too much forward weight. I would... Oh, don't lag on me, please. Now I could try and put a second one of these here. I don't know if that's worth it or not. I mean, we have some overlap, but we get pretty much the same benefit of just having one of these. I can bring the gun back a little bit to reduce the forward weight. And I really can't put any of these down here or anything. This is, that's just not going to work out very well, is it? Yeah, that's going to be a little uncomfortable. Alright, so we're going to have to go with casemate guns. I'll go for 2-inch casemate guns. So we have a lot of small guns to shoot at torpedo boats with. And this makes it a little overweight, which I don't really want. We'll take out you. Now how much armor can I put on this guy? I can make this guy pretty well armored. And so now the question is it better to have the armor or the torpedo protection or what? I could get away without having the torpedo protection, maybe. That saves me a little bit, but not that much. So this gives me some nice all-around protection for against the torpedo boats, and maybe we just take off some of these guns. I mean, as far as the casemate guns go, I could try and scooch you back a little bit. Limits the angle a little bit, but it'll drop the weight a smidge. And I kind of feel like having the armor is more important. So I really don't have a lot of there we go. So now it's perfectly balanced. I think what we're going to do is we're just going to make this a stable fighting platform. And, this isn't a bad ship. It's got two 9.9-inch guns. It's going to hit the crap out of things with those guns. And it's got some minor secondaries for torpedo boats. It's not going to be as great as I'd like, but look at this balancing right here. And I could knock out the engine efficiency by taking one of these off. Honestly, I think this is as good as we're going to as we're going to get it. And so this is going to be, we're going to use these as kind of a general purpose Inquisition ship to hunt down the heathens. I think this is going to be a very good ship. It won't be fast, but it'll be good. I'd like to get rid of the torpedo protection, but frankly, I think this is good. Yeah. All right. So we're gonna build this. Boom. All right. So now I'm going to need some number of these ships to protect my stuff. I'm going to need at least 2 out in the Philippines. I'm going to need at least 2 in Africa. I'll need at least 2 or 4 in Spain. And I'll need probably 4 in the Caribbean. Because this is where our main fighting is going to be. So really I need 4, 8, 10... 12, 4. I really need 14 of these, at least 14 or 18 of them. I don't know how many of these I can build. I've got a monthly balance of plus 5 million. So our finances are looking pretty solid. We want to make Britain happy with us. So let's go build some of these. I think we're going to build 14 of them. Now the problem is that would bankrupt us. We can't do that. That would bankrupt us. And it'll take 10 months to build. Now, when we don't have to build any more of the transports, that's going to save us some money. But we can't afford to build as many as we need to build. We do have some tech budget here that we can lean on. And these things are not cheap. These are kind of pricey ships. So so we could build like 8 of them. We're going to run at a little bit of a deficit. And that's unfortunate, but I think that's just what we're going to have to do. Uh, yeah, this is what we're going to have to do. Alright, building 8 of these. We are going to put 2 of these are going to be built in Cuba. We'll build them in Havana. And then 2 of these are going to be built in the Philippines. And then probably I could always just put 2 and 2 here, because when we go to war with the US or anybody, it's going to be a real mess. I really need 4 of them in the Gulf of Mexico, and I'm going to have to put 2 of them in probably Santa Cruz. Alright, so put 2 more in Havana. And 2 in Santa Cruz. We're going to have these in 10 turns. So we're just going to play it nice and chill for a little bit. We're losing a little bit of money, but it's not the end of the world. We can build more as we need to, and once we eventually go to war, we'll build some more. So just nice and chill. Lighter boilers. So the French like us okay. Let's make the Austrians like us a little bit better. And we're just going to just play it nice and chill for a bit. How are we doing? Yeah, the US is fine with us. Just keep on improving things. Wait, is there anybody else that's mad at us? We want to be nice to the Japanese. Alright, so we have our bigger shipyard now. Which is really nice because we can build better ships now. Now the problem is upgrading our invasion fleet is going to be kind of difficult. We're going to be busy for about 10 more months. Which we could build, we could do a small amount. Let's see here. Our fleet is, these are going to be ready in 8 months. So, what we'll do is we will increase what we can for 8 months. 34 million. Yeah, just gonna make it nice and just like that. That's good enough. And then have you do a +1. So right now we're still in kind of the early preparation stage. We've managed to avoid pissing off the US before we were ready. We will need to build better ships. Alright, so these guys are happy. So the whole key is our diplomacy so we don't go to war with anybody. Especially Britain and France. So let's go make you happier. Alright, so we're our maximum transport capacity, so now we can reduce that down. Okay? Still not doing a lot of crew. We don't need the crew yet. Because these ships that we're building, these are going to have, I mean, they're going to have 400 crew. So they're going to be, we will need to get crew once we do these. That's going to be a little bit tough. But this is what we're kind of what we're stuck with for now. And then in a few more turns, we'll have a navy that can actually fight. Then we'll start upgrading our invasion fleet. And then we will go to town. And so the whole idea behind this gambit is we're just taking things very carefully at the beginning. Now this is going to be a problem. I was not expecting this. So you guys can go piss off. And we want to try and improve relations with you. After telling you to piss off. Now the bright side is our unrest is slowly going down. Our finances are getting better. I don't really want to worry about crew capacity yet. We're not going to really be training them up that much. So we're just going to keep on chilling along. And like I said, this is sort of a... our opening gambit, this is the really difficult part. Once we have some ships that can actually fight, then we're going to start upgrading our 45 soft cushion ships. And maybe what we ought to do also is build a very expensive torpedo boat that we can sell. And maybe that's actually what we need to do. Maybe we let's check our research real quick. Our engines should be ready soon, and then maybe we build a nice torpedo boat. Yeah, so that's all happy. And it'll probably be about another year before so we don't want the unrest. I mean, we could handle it, but we really don't. I definitely don't want to do that. So we'll protest. We could use more money. Let's go for more money. And then let's try to... The Austrians really want to fight with us, don't they? Three more months until that's ready. Engines are going to be ready in 7 months, which may not be quite soon enough for what we need, but that's okay. So Austria's having some problems. We're going to eventually need something to deal with them. What kind of fleet do the Austrians have? They got a pretty freaking big fleet. We definitely do not want to go to war with them. These guys are pretty bamf. Hopefully they'll piss off the Russians or something. Now, how are our army logistics looking? Our army logistics are awful. But theirs are awful too. Alright, so let's just keep making nice with England and France. Finances are solid. We may have to fight the Austrians before we are ready to fight before we can fight the Americans, which really sucks because I really don't. Fighting the Austrians is not part of the plan. And I am going to need more heavy ships probably to fight fight the Americans. Because we're going to have a serious money problem. Two more turns. Let's see, who else is mad at us? Austrians are still mad at us. Yeah, we just need to keep working to improve relations. Because we're going to focus on the Western Hemisphere. There we go. That undid some problems. So Nicaragua. Yeah, let's we can get Nicaragua. All right, so let's go send out the Spanish fleet. Now we need 6,000 tons. I can probably send 1, 2, 3. Let's see here. So we need 6,000. I mean, if I sent all my guys out, that's going to be way more than I need. I need about 60,000 tons to guarantee it, which means I need about 20 ships. So, about half. We'll send about half the ships. Alright, so there we go. We want to... How are the U.S. viewing us? They're kind of positive with us right now, so that's alright. So let's make nice with the Brits again. And let's go get Nicaragua. And if we have to send more, then we'll send more. We are sending our diplomats on board our transport ships to have a conversation with Nicaragua. Hey, there we go. Look, see, we are peacefully diplomatizing with them. Look how nice and peaceful we are. We're the most nice, peaceful, friendly people you can imagine. Submarines. I don't really care about submarines. Get more naval budget, or yeah, we want more money. And then, since we just insulted Japan, we are going to be nice to Japan. Sorry to make fun of your submarines. We really like you. So that's looking good. Now, it looks like our cruisers are ready to go. So that's really nice. Our ship does our research, 1 more month until the engines are ready. So that's something. So we're going to give it 1 more month. And we now have, hopefully, Nicaragua. Outstanding. And look, our monthly balance has gone up quite a bit. We are making a lot more money now, because Nicaragua is 229 million. Nicaragua is worth quite a bit of our... I guess it's very profitable. Who's mad at us right now? Japan is. We already made nice with them. We'll make nice with Austria some more. It's all a misunderstanding. Alright, so we are in a pretty good I'm not too worried about that. I mean, it'd be nice. 1 month? Yeah, 1 month. It's worth waiting 1 month for that. What about our shells? No, I don't think that worry. That's not that important. All right, so we will give it 1 more month, and then we will start refitting our ships. I forgot to send them back to Cuba. Now this is where things are going to start getting expensive, because once we refit these ships, it's going to be a little bit dicey. So let's send you guys back to Santiago de Cuba. And our research is good. We finished our internal protections, so we're in really good shape technologically. We're in good shape financially. So now let's go look at our soft cushions. And now it's time to revisit that design. And give me 1 moment. I'm going to check on something real quick, and then we're going to go work on this ship. So I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. I'm sorry about that. I thought I heard my friend's dogs getting into something. I'm dog sitting right now, but it turns out they're fine. So, now we're going to go revisit this ship. We can't adjust the displacement up here. What we can do is, we're going to refit this. So we can't adjust the displacement up here, but we can increase this. And now this is a 10,000 ton invasion ship. I mean, diplomacy, peaceful diplomacy ship. So we're going to completely rework the whole ship design. As far as speed goes, we want you to go 16 knots. And that's not, that's not awful. Now, as far as gun turrets go, I don't think we can put any, can't put any barbettes. Yeah, these won't fit. You can put some of these, but that won't do any good. So for the main guns, we're going to be going with our Mark II Really? Are we not going to be able to put multiple guns here? Too far from previous place. Alright, so this is going to be a little problematic. But, alright, I see how that is. Alright, I see what we're doing. Um, so what I could do, can I put a... Can't put anything here. Excuse me for just a moment. What I could do is I could put a second gun. I could put a second gun like right back here maybe. But I don't know if that's going to get in the way of the towers. So I think what I'm going to do, really these guys mostly have to worry about torpedo boats. So we're going to go with Mark II secondary guns. And let's go and make these as big as we can. Get our rangefinder going. Get our gun cotton. This will be a little problematic. We have our... Can you move up any? No, you really can't. That's sorta... Alright, so I guess this is as good of the engine efficiency as I can get. That's what we're getting. Alright, so... I could try putting you here. Maybe I could put another... No, it won't let me do that. Won't let me put another tower there, so... Alright, this is what we got. Now, as far as the... Go with the Citadel, go with Barbette. Let's just make as much armor as we can. Actually, for this mast, let's go with this. That's 1800 on the front mast. So we can do that. Or we could try and scoot it forward a bit. Can I put a barbette in here? No. Alright, so we can do something like that. The secondary mast is just a rear mast 1. There's no really good masts anyway. Alright, so this is sort of where we're looking at. And we can... I don't really want a lot of crew. I mean, this is adding a lot more crew that I probably can't afford to put in. And so we can put kind of the gun back here. I'm surprised. So like the 3-inch guns I can put anywhere I want. I'm surprised that these 2 inches are being so problematic. So I can do something like this. Oops. So this gives me a bunch of gun turrets for taking out torpedo boats. It'd be nice if I could... Damn it. There we go. It still isn't a super expensive ship. I could put some casemate guns on here also if I wanted. And because I am going to need to tear up small vessels. And these guns are going to have a range of, you know, 8 kilometers. Realistically, they're going to be effective out to 5. Okay. So it's not going to let me put any sort of center line gun up front. So these are going to be 1 turret ships. But I could put gun turrets up here, and maybe even a barbette. Put like you up there, and do something like that. So this is going to be just a lot of secondary guns. It wouldn't let me. But these ships are going to be mostly running away anyway. Now the problem is that the refit time on this is 14 months. Which is a lot longer than I expected it to be. This is going to be kind of problematic. And I'm not sure quite what's causing all the refit time. So I really just need these to be for invasions. It may be better for me to just leave these as the bulky, unarmored. I mean, this is one option of a ship. And I could keep jacking up. I mean, this thing's super stable. I mean, this is actually going to be a pretty reasonable invasion ship, but it's going to take me a long time to refit, and I'm only going to be able to refit a few of these at a time. So this may not be what I want to do. I was hoping to get a lot of invasion tonnage right off the bat, and this may not be the right way to do it. Because if I were to just build one of these outright from the beginning, that might be the better option. I mean, if we look at this, this is This is not great. So I'm probably going to go ahead and scrap this, and let's start over, because this is too expensive for what we're doing. Yeah, so we're gonna go redo this. So we're gonna design a different upgrade, and we're gonna revisit our fundamentals. No, this you missed the beginning. This is a refit for our cheap invasion ships. So let's view this again, because I need the refit time to be short. So, all right. So if we replace this with a double barrel gun, you know, we're looking at two months. Make it bigger, you know, 9.9, that's fine, okay? And this will be, we can use that to shoot at enemy ships. We go with the Conic, go with the Citadel, Barbette, anti-torpedo. I would like to make this go faster. If we upgrade the bulkheads, upgrade the range, yeah, that's really jacking up. So the speed doesn't seem to affect it. Now, if we jack up the maximum tonnage, that increases it to 5 months, which isn't the end of the world. Now, we can make these things more expensive by making them go faster. You know, having a 5-month ship is not the end of the world. Go with a better main tower, so we have now up to 6 months. That's better than 14 months, but we're still not at, you know, where we need them to be, and it may just not be worth making these guys able to fight. Or at least not right now. Because I just need these guys to be able to run away. So, alright, so let's try again, because I really want these to be just cheap invasion ships. But I need an inexpensive way to beef up the tonnage without it being too big of a deal. Now, I could always just make them really nice and upgrade the tonnage as we go. So this is where I'm running into the problem with my Gambit, because they're sitting at 2,800 tons right now, and I need to make them. So if I just leave it completely untouched, and let's say we bump them up to 16 knots. 18 knots. Alright, so 16 knots, so they can get away from things. They're still pretty cheap. If we increase the bulkheads to maximum, that adds a lot of time. That'll make it harder for them to blow up. That adds a lot of time. You know, we can add torpedo protection, barbette, citadel, and this is all giving him. See, will adding armor. So adding armor does increase the refit time as well. So that's part of the issue. Because we only have a shipyard capacity of about 50,000 tons, and we need to be able to at least make these things able to run away. So and we can make them 18 knots. Now this makes them kind of expensive. If we add funnels, that makes it... So adding the funnels adds a lot of refit time also. So that's... Now if we jack with the beam and the draught, that adds more time. Now if we make these things really fast though, that's not really adding a lot of cost. I mean, it's adding cost, but it's not adding a lot of refit time. Although it adds tonnage. Well, it doesn't add that much tonnage. I could make these things go 23 knots. So, but that's still adding a lot of refit time. So 18 knots is kind of the optimum thing. And we've got to be able to jack up the... So I could jack up the tonnage and make them faster. And it takes, you know, for 2 months. And that's taking them from about 2,500 tons to 4,000 tons and makes them fast enough to run away. And we could work on, let's say, 10 of these at a time. So 2, 4, 6, 8 would take about 8 months to get these guys up to a basic kind of refit level. To where they're at least fast enough to run away. Now the problem is going to be if we get a close engagement, we're going to be in a lot of trouble and these things are going to blow up. Now if we go with maximum bulkheads, that's where it takes the big time to... That's where the big problem with time is. I could jack these up to 19 knots. And maybe what I need to do is I need to upgrade these in stages. Because getting them to going from 13 knots to 18 knots for a 2-month refit is a big damn deal. If we increase the range, that adds a lot of refit time also. Yeah, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to first refit these to go faster. And then we will refit them to be more combat effective later, because at least right now, they are still in good enough shape to invade. And we have extra main belt to give them weight. And maybe I can add... let's see how much main... Alright, so we can add... There we go. That gives them... We're still sitting at 2 months. So right here is about as much armor as we can give them for a 2-month refit. We still have no armor in the guns. So that's not great. But for a 2-month refit, just to make them go fast, this is good enough. And the ranges are short enough that I think these will be good enough for running away. So, yeah, this is where we're... This is going to be our... This is going to be our beginning... Yeah, because if I do any more to it, it just takes too long. So yeah, this will be our first refit, and it'll be good enough. All right, so let's start refitting a bunch of these to get them ready for what we have in store. Because right now, time is more important than anything else, and we can still do a limited invasion if we have to with this. So, let's make sure that all of our ships are set to limited. Some of these guys are in the process of coming home. Let's have you guys set to limited. All right. So these are only 3,000 tons. Actually, you know what we're going to do? We're going to refit one of them and see if it actually only counts as 3,000 tons. It counts as 8,000 tons. Okay, because it's going by their maximum. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so it's going by their maximum tonnage, and not the 15. All right, so there we go. We still have money left over, so we're going to build more shipyard. That's looking good. Our crew pool is fine. And then while we have another 3,500 tons left, we can't really build another ship right now, so we're just going to leave it at that. So as far as our politics go, let's make nice with Japan, so we're not in a position to fight them yet. Alright, so we are going to... we'll build an export ship later. Actually, what I probably ought to do is use my spare tonnage to build some torpedo boats to guard the retreating, or to do some of the fighting for my invasion fleet. I mean, my diplomacy fleet. So this is going pretty well. Alright, so let's look at torpedo boat options. Do we have... because we want something small and cheap that can kind of protect our stuff. $300 tons. And what's the maximum speed on that? 20. We go 28. Our main gun's going to be a Mark II 2-inch gun, which we will beef up as much as we can. And we need a main tower. See here. That's 2 funnel capacity. That's 3.5. Oh, these are going to be... This is going to be very rough. I see. I need a torpedo. Alright, so this isn't gonna work like this. So let's go 25. These are basically just gonna be to shoot up other torpedo boats and other small ships. I'd like for it to be fast. But mostly I just need to have guns. That sort of works there. But I can do good by just having... If I were to take you back, and I were to have a gun turret there, something like this. So I could do something kind of like that. It's this forward weight offset is awful. There's probably not much I can do about that. Go with gun cotton, heavy shells, make you shoot faster, and you know what? I actually how heavy are you? You are 16 tons. I really only need one I don't need that many torpedoes. I go extra ammo, but I probably don't need extra ammo. I mean, the engine efficiency is awful. How bad is this gonna hurt me? Cruising speed, operational range. It's not the end of the world. So I could do something like this. Or I could scoot the guns back and put the torpedoes further forward. Let's have you scoot back. And then let's have and then can I put... It won't let me. There we go. Not quite how I wanted to do it. There we go. That perfectly balances the ship. And 26, 27. 28 knots. Okay, so this might work. I've got okay torpedo firing arc. Not that I'm going to really use it that much. It's only a single torpedo. This is mainly a gunboat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guns per broadside to take out enemy torpedo boats. And I think this is going to be where can I shave a little bit? Can I shave a ton of weight off somewhere? Not really. Yeah, we'll just keep these. This will be our escort ships. These are our diplomatic escorts for escorting our stuff. All right. And so we can build a few of these also while we're refitting the other stuff. And this way we've got a little bit of skirmishing power. They're fast, they're going to be hard to hit, and they can spot and hunt down other torpedo boats. And that's going to be their job. So I can do like 3,000 tons of these without having really any problems. And that leaves me a little bit extra. So, our finances are looking, they're fine. Our shipbuilding capacity is fine. I could build another 1,000 tons easily. So let's go build. Build one more. Perfect. That's perfect. All right, so, and you guys are going to be 6 months. We're going to put you guys all in Santiago de Cuba. Where are you at? Might not be able to do that. I guess we're going to put them in Havana. Alright. Our politics are looking good. We can make nice with... Who do we need to make nice with? Let's be nice to... Let's be nice to Russia real quick. Here you go. Alright, so we're going to start refitting our ships and getting them at least a little bit faster for our invasion ships, and then we can start beefing them up a little bit later. And how many more can we do? Do like 2 more. We can do 1 more. There we go. So we are refitting some ships. So we can refit 7 at a time. Everybody's mostly happy with us. We'll go make nice with Japan again. Alright, so there we go. So this is going to be kind of our system early on for getting this started. And don't care about corrupt politicians. Don't care about that. I think we're just going to lower our unrest because we want to maintain the monarchy. That's the other goal of the game. We want to conquer the world while also preserving the monarchy. Go make nice with Italy. You guys are need another turn. All right, so slowly but surely we're getting our stuff ready, and then once we're in good shape, then we'll look at pissing off the U.S. and doing what we got to do. Because once this goes down, it's going to get kind of nasty, I think. But I think we have some pretty good cruisers. My only concern's really that they've got some battleships that I'm not prepared for. And maybe we're going to build some proper, like, fleet command battleships, because I'm going to need at least one in the Philippines. I'll need one in Cuba somewhere. Please don't provoke us, Britain. We don't want to fight you. We are your friends. We are very peaceful. Okay, so let's go refit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Refit 7 soft cushions. There we go, perfect. So this is just coming along, you know, good enough. Because there's no other way that we would be able to afford to start out the game with 45 battleships. Okay, let's see. Who do we need to be nice to this time? Probably China. I don't really care that much about China. But I don't want to fight an Asian war yet. And so right now we have about 180,000 tons of effective ships. Go refit you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Boop. And that's looking good. So we'll keep making nice with Japan. Ideally, we want to keep everybody at about a positive 50 or positive 60 relation with us, because I don't want them to try and form an alliance. We don't want to ally with anybody. We just want to be kind of inconsequential. Alright. That worked nicely. Alright, so who do we need to be? Let's be nice to China real quick. There we go. Research is just kind of doing its thing. The Mark II 3-inch guns will be ready soon. And looks like I am finished producing these diplomatic escorts. So we're going to build a few more of these. let's see here. 5964. Boom. And perfect, we nailed it. And then these new ships we're gonna put also in Cuba. We'll put these in Guantanamo. Alright, so I know it's kind of dull. We're still kind of setting the stage, and then we will, once we finish refitting our invasion ships, that's when we will start to provoke and get ready for the U.S. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Boop. Our finances are doing solid. We're getting plenty of money. We could probably start jacking up our crew trains, get them up to about 10%. Which is, we'll need them. So we're just going to be nice to everybody, just a nice, peaceful kind of setting the stage. And we're only in 1893. That didn't work out so well, did it? So, need a little bit of... Still want to make Britain a little bit happier with us. There we go. And then I think one more round of upgrades and we will be ready to start antagonizing the US. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to really upgrade these invasion ships quite the way I wanted to. At some point I'll have spare shipyard space where I won't need to worry too much about it, and then we can do a longer upgrade. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. Boop. Alright, perfect. And let's make France happier with us. And then we're very close to being ready to start our Inquisition. I want to try and make everybody else happier with us while we're at it. Alright, so we've got, so these, France and Spain are good, Germany's okay, Japan's okay, China's okay. So yeah, we'll make Germany a little bit happier with them. More worried about the Western powers than the Eastern powers. And we are almost ready. Certainly by 1895 we will be probably ready to go. I do want to make sure I've got something big that I can punch the American battleships with. I am worried about what they're going to do in the Philippines, and that's really going to be our vulnerability. The nationalist one, alright, whatever. Alright, so are we still a monarchy? We're still a constitutional monarchy. That's fine with me. Let's make China a little happier. And Russia. Probably Russia first. Alright. So, refitting. We have the last 3 guys to refit. Boom. Alright, so we are just about ready to go forward. Hydraulic steering would take me 2 months, and hull strengthening 2 months. Alright, so we're going to focus on those real quick. And Mark II 3-inch guns. So, what do we have for explosives? Ballistite? No, I'm not too worried about it. I mean, that'd be nice, but not worried about it. I mean, the Mark II 3-inch guns would be nice, but I don't think I really need those. The 2 inches will be 2 inches will be fine. Let's not worry about that. Oh, it's gonna take 3 months. All right, let's go get them. And then we will start developing the new battleships. They're going to be our actual fleet battleships. And everybody's doing just fine. Let's get China to be nicer to us. There we go. So far everything's going along really nice. We're past my scariest part, which was America declaring war at us in the very beginning. And now the next thing we're going to do is, let's go turn off these. Got 1 more month for hydraulic steering gear, which I think is going to be very useful because we'll use that throughout the game. No, it's not worth that. Alright, so let's check our politics. We have to be making this is a hardcore diplomacy effort. So let's do a little bit. Oh, Germany's starting to fall behind a little bit. Let's be nice to Germany again. We don't want to mess with you. Yeah, it's probably kind of the first thing is always the first opening is always boring, but this is the most important part. All right, so so somebody did something stupid. We can spend some money to make it go away, or we can piss off the Russians. I really don't want to piss off the Russians, but I really don't want the unrest. And we can patch things up with the Russians later. Alright, so let's go be nice to Russia real quick. And now we are going to... all of our ships should be... all you guys should be upgraded. Let's double check. All of our ships are here. They're all happy. Alright, so let's go look at making a new battleship. Is there any other research that I have to worry about? Basic crew medical treatment. No, I'm not really that worried about that. No, we're not wasting 2 months on that. All right, so we're going to make a new design. And we have big boy battleships now. Compared to a modified barbette ship, which is, these go faster, better hull form, stability, floatability. They're bigger, more resistance. Whereas these have pretty good resistance though. Now here's the big weird thing. These have really good stability, but they're kind of small. Whereas these guys are much beefier. So we can make these 13,638 is our limit. What an arbitrary limit. Alright. So, what we need to do is if I put a thing up here, then we can go put we can get barbettes down there. Alright, so now our main guns are going to be the Mark II 10-inch guns. And we're going to make these as big as possible. Why the 10-inch? Because they're the biggest Mark II guns we have. And these seem to be okay for turning. I mean, will they actually turn? I don't know for sure. But it looks like it would. I could try scooching it forward just to be safe. And damn it. They're a little bit better safe than sorry. Alright, so now our main tower is going to be a cage mast with nice... Are you serious? Can we not fit the cage mast on here? Or do we have to go with a stupid front tower? So we're losing like 2,000 spotting distance because the game won't let me put this cage mast on here. That's how annoying. Is it a ship width thing? Let's I could put a cage mast back here. That's weird. That's really odd. I don't quite know what I think about this. I mean, so the large cage mast... Alright, screw it. We won't worry about you. We will just go with a regular front tower. I want these guys to go 18 knots. Go nickel steel armor, barbette, anti-torpedo, citadel, all the good stuff. Go with the conic 1 range finding, increased ammo, big ammo, gun cotton, and let's go white powder. Either do nose fuse or soft cap. That's a lot of... I kind of like soft cap, but let's see here. That's going to be... I mean, this will rip through small cruisers and stuff, or if we do soft cap, this will take out any sort of cruiser with the high explosives. We're going to do that. All right, we need some funnels. All right, so we've got bad engine efficiency. Nothing we can do about that. We need to have the little barbette thing there. Otherwise, it gets mad. Alright, so we got the barbette. For our secondaries, we're going to go... three-inch gun. Actually, the 2-inch may be better. Let's compare the two. Let's just put a 2-inch down. And, alright, so... the 2-inch has... would you... Alright, so the 2-inch has a 6.5 at 2,500 meters. And this is a 5.1. So the 2-inch is actually better. 2-inch is better ammo. Damage, honestly, is going to be fine. Alright, so we're going to go with 2-inch guns. The 2.9s. These seem to be the better value. And can I put anything back? I guess that's we're gonna go there and there. Let's go turn you around. And let's put do like that. And let's get this other. That's not bad. Maybe I ought to put... I should probably do that instead. Yeah, that's probably better. Alright. And it won't let me put any more back here. And I can't put anything... Can't really put anything in there. So, alright, so casemates. If I do the 2s or the... what's the... let's see, 6.6. These have a longer range, though. but these are going to fire faster. And I think mostly I just want to put out a lot of DACA just to take care of any torpedo boats. And these are up to, what's my range now on these? 8.4 kilometers. This is fine. Alright, now I've got a big forward weight problem. So let's figure out how to balance this out. We go 7 inches, 4 inches. Alright, that gets me pretty good. Now it would be nice to have a second set of guns here, but it looks like that's not going to happen. Unless I... No. That's just not going to work. So we'll park that there. And let's go scooch these forward just a bit. Perfect. So that's perfectly balanced. Let's get... How much Citadel can we... it's just the inner deck. I'm not too worried about that. Let's go with more... Oops. That doesn't really make that much of a difference. Let's go with more superstructure, actually. There we go. So this is 1894, I think. So this right here, this is going to be our actual warship. And I think this should be able to take out solidly some American ships. What are we going to call this thing? Because this is going to be part of our Inquisition fleet. Oh, shit, I can make this have a lesser range and add more stuff. So let's go with less range. And now we can add more armor. Beautiful. Now, the engine efficiency is absolute hot trash. Not much I can do about that. The engine efficiency is hot trash, but we got really good stability. No, these are Mark II. Yeah, I focused really hard early on to get the Mark II 9-inch guns and the Mark II 2.9s. And I got the Mark II 10-inch guns accidentally, but I'm not going to complain. So this is a stable firing platform. The engine efficiency's hot trash, but we'll fix that later. It's got a fuck ton of armor. And I really should have called this the Inquisitor. What do I want to call this thing? Yeah, I focused hard on it. This could be our Paladin. Our Knight Champion of the Church. It's our Paladin class battleship. And this is actually pretty solid. Alright, so I can build probably like 4 of these. Yeah, I'm really skimping on the secondaries, and I'm min-maxing my ships. So we're gonna build 2, 3, 4. We're gonna build 4 of these because I can't build any more than that. I think I need 4. I'm gonna need 1 to guard the Philippines, and the other 3 are going to be in Cuba. Because I don't want the Americans to try and get me through the back door at the Philippines. So I may have to build these guys in Spain and move them to take 15 months. Shit. Alright, so I build in Puerto Rico. Yeah, Puerto Rico needs some jobs, right? I mean, yeah, I think Puerto Rico needs some jobs. Or I could put 2 in. I might need to leave 1 in Spain to guard Spain, but my gut feeling is all the fighting's going to be in the Caribbean. Yeah, we're gonna min-max this. We're gonna put 3 in Puerto Rico. And you are going to get built in Manila. So, alright, so now we've got our solid fleet, and we are ready to party. We've got plenty of torpedo boats that are ready to go. I can start upgrading further the invasion ships, because these guys are they're small, right? I've got, they're 4,500 tons each. So if I add this up, let's pull out the old calculator here. So 4,500 tons times 45 ships, I've got 200,000 tons of ships. That's going to be enough to take out. That'll be enough to capture Panama Canal, I think. It may not, because I'm going to be outnumbered. I'm going to be brawling. These ships are for brawling. So yeah, I have to balance the pocketbook also. So, all right. So here's the plan. I need to take a break and take care of my dog. And then I will come back after I give him his medicine and feed him and all that stuff. So I will be back in a little bit, but we are now in a solid position to pick a fight, and we'll start antagonizing. So in our next episode, we're going to start antagonizing the U.S. because we're going to be building our ships. We're focusing on dominating the Caribbean. We want to get Panama, because if we get the Panama Canal, then the U.S. is boned. Now, these guys still only have 2 battleships. We have a stronger fleet than the U.S. does now. And the reason we're going after them first is it's just a money grab. Because these guys, long term, are going to be a giant pain in the ass. Nobody is super friendly with them except for Austria, which we can fight Austria if we have to. And long term, these guys are going to be the biggest problem. So we want to snipe out the U.S. first. And then probably after that, we're going to go after England and France. Because England, we want to be able to grab Gibraltar. And we need to knock these guys out, because late game, they become a big problem too. Because early game, our technologies are relatively even, right? I mean, I'm hyper-focused on a couple of things to give me an advantage, but there's not that big of a discrepancy. But in the late game, the tech differences and economic differences become huge. So the gambit is I've got to knock out the biggest threats early on, and so that's what we're going to do. So, guys, thanks for watching. I'm going to take care of my dog, and I'm going to be back in a little bit, maybe 30 minutes or so. I got to go test his blood and do all the dog diabetes stuff. And thanks for watching. I'll see you guys soon. I hope you like this first episode. I know it's very technical, and there wasn't any fighting, but if we're going to pull this off on Legendary, we have to lay out our plan and put all the pieces in place, and then next episode we're gonna kick some ass. At least that's the plan. So thanks a lot, guys, and I will see everybody soon.